Friends, so I'm here to start kind of a new reading vlog, but I'm gonna kind of like do this theme for the next couple of weeks, not like with this exact theme. But I had 2 weeks off. If you don't know, it was a very, very stressful end of the year, like end of the school year. And I got into some really, really bad habits. So I want to kind of break my habits. And I am going on a big trip in the middle, midway through August. So I want to kind of build some better habits. So I have a couple of goals I want to focus on. I want to stop having cheat meals. And I'm going to basically use Kethcupathon, which is happening right now with Krista and her friends. And basically you need to read 5 books before you can make a pie. And basically I'm gonna read 5 books, and every single time I make a pie or read 5 books, I get to get a treat if I want one. The only way I can have a cheat meal is if I do this, because we're making pies and we're doing all the fun things. So in addition to like following my Nourish app and actually tracking and actually working out and doing all those things, I am going to Scotland, and it's a lot of walking. I did a tour like this last year in Ireland, and it was a lot of walking. So I want to walk at least 10,000 steps a day, which is my goal, but I have been doing very, very bad at that. I also would like to work out on my fitness app and also have a bike ride every day, which I think is doable, and also do my 10,000 steps. I also want to stop with the bad snacking. I want to drink a lot more water. I don't really want to have ginger ale. I want to have all my sparkling waters. I really want to focus on water for the next couple of weeks, and I just want to low-key track it in a sense where it's healthy. So that is where I am right now. But the first book in this, I think we're going to do one for each, just so it makes it a little bit harder and a bit more challenging. So I am going to do a sweet pie for my first book. Or actually, you know what? Maybe this one will be a savory pie. I don't know. We'll see. I really want to do a sweet pie, so it's going to like a go-to genre. And we're just going to start this right now. So we're going to do a go-to genre. And I am going to say the book that I'm currently reading would count as a go-to book. It could actually count. Okay. So sweet. All right. So we're going to start with that. And it's going to be Yesteryear, which is getting all of the hype. And I'm going to attach a photo of that book here. I read the first part of this like yesterday when I was walking, and I was immediately intrigued by it. I don't know if it's gonna keep me because she's really unlikable, but currently you have a main character who's like a trad wife influencer. She has a whole production team. She has nannies. There's been some drama happening in her immediate life, and then she wakes up the next day and she's kind of thrown back into this prairie lifestyle that she is kind of pretending she's a part of. And she is like, things are all awry. Like her husband is really, really weird. They are acting very, very mean towards her. And yeah, that's where we are with that. I am about 25% into that book. I really am intrigued. Like I want to keep reading, but I hate her as a character. Despise her. That's kind of the point, I think. So yeah, that is my plan. And then the next time I come back to you, I will probably pick a physical book, which is probably going to be another sweet pie. But the goal is to do 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Like 5 things, and then have the opportunity to have a sweet treat, which I may not always take, but I may like save them. I also do have a city day coming up, but yeah, I'm trying to focus on that for the next 3 to 4 weeks before I head to Scotland, because that will be like a lot of walking, and I want to have some better habits under my belt. So I'm going to kind of keep you guys a track. We're tracking my Nourish app, we're tracking my steps, we're tracking my working out, and we're just tracking my lower stress level. I want to have every day of this next couple of weeks under a 2-hour stress level, which I think is definitely doable. And yeah, I want to keep working out in a way that's healthy. So yeah, that is my plan. That is what we're doing. I have to go to the foot doctor today. I got new shoes. But yeah, that is where we are. All right, I'll come back when I'm ready to start the next book for this vlog, which will be a physical read, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Hey Dragons, I am back. Just a little update on my habits for today. I definitely have not walked a ton. I did go for a bike ride. I did work out in the morning. I have been on track with my habits. But yeah, I do definitely have to update my Finch tracker at some point today to kind of keep track of it officially, but I am doing better. I'm also trying to drink a lot more water, but I did go for a 40-minute bike ride, and I did wind up finishing the book for my other vlog. So I am going to start for my physical reading path, A Season for Falling for Path A, which is going to be another sweet pie. I love sweet. For a book that is my go-to, and I tend to read a lot of my ALA books in the summer because I just got them, and this is a contemporary book set in the fall. I talked about it in one of my other vlogs, and then I got a little bit bummed for a prompt. I actually spun a wheel for this one, but it is a romantic contemporary, which I have been really loving recently, especially audiobook wise. But this one follows a main character who used to be a child star, but then she winds up moving to Connecticut to kind of escape that life. She had a little bit of trauma with her dad, and her former co-star comes to town and is filming a movie, and she has to tutor him in the way to be a normal teen. And that's all I got so far. There's also, she's keeping a very, very big secret from everyone about who she truly is, about her past. That's definitely going to blow up in her face, but currently I'm about 100 pages in. I haven't read this for a while. I took a break when I was reading Immortal Rose for another vlog, so my goal is to read another 100 pages and then come up here and update you and also chit chat about it. Right now I've done 1,700 steps, which is not great, but I also didn't walk to town, so I'm gonna have to fix that later. I do have to go to the doctor, so I will be walking a little bit as we adventure, but yeah, I definitely do need to step a little bit more, and that will be a goal to get to 10,000 steps. So that is the plan. Tomorrow I'm also going to the city to meet up with a friend. I'm going to a Jennifer Lynn Barnes event, so I will get all my steps in tomorrow, I am sure. But today I will have to make that as a goal. But once I come back from the doctor, I will kind of assess how many more steps I need to take. Okay, so that is where we are. I'm gonna go read this definitely in a little bit. I want to go listen to my audiobook. But when I have got up to page 208, I will give you an update just so I can reacquaint myself with the story because it's been a bit. Back literally a minute later. I forgot to update you guys on yesteryear. Oh god, yesteryear. I hate this main character. I despise her. She is horrible, but it is keeping me listening. I will admit, I did speed it up a little bit. So basically you follow a trad wife influencer, and she is kind of she's basically setting up her content creation life. You get that for the first 30% of maybe the first 2 chapters of this book. You learn how she puts her thing, how she has nannies and how her husband and all these things. And then you kind of flash. Then the next day you see is she's back in this time period, and she has no idea how she got here. Her family is treating her really, really horribly in this time frame, and I think there's going to be a twist. How did she get thrown back into time? But then we also have her in the past telling us how she got to this point. And I really don't like her. I hate her. But I really want to know what the twist is, so I actually bumped up this book to 2.5 speed, so I will read it a little bit quicker. But yeah, I am not liking her, but I am captivating to keep reading. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go listen to a little bit more of yesteryear. And then when I go run my errands, I will bring A Season for Falling with me so I can bring it to the doctor with me so I can get some progress, because I haven't read this in a bit. And I do want to reacquaint myself with the story. But right now we are 40% into my yesteryear book, and I'm about 25% into this book. So we are doing well. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Hi Food Dragons, I'm back. So I do have some updates. Yesterday I didn't wind up updating at all because hold on 1 second so I can gather all my little things. Because I went to a Jennifer Lynn Barnes event at Barnes & Noble in Union Square. I got to meet Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I got to go for the Gilded Blade, which is the final book in the Inheritance Game series. I wound up getting a couple of books signed. If I can remember, I'll attach the photos that I took here. I didn't get any video clips because I was so afraid my phone was gonna die, but here are a couple of photos for New York stop for the Inheritance Game series, the final book in like a 9-book series. So I really want to dive into this one. And then I did a little bit of book shopping. I got Moss in Space by Rebecca Thorne. And I also got Thornbird by E. Kennedy, which is Elle Kennedy's YA pen name. And I don't know what I want to read next, but I did wind up getting a lot of reading done for the first part of that trip. And then I wound up meeting with a couple of new people in line and we were chit-chatting. So I did wind up finishing A Season for Falling by Kate O'Shaughnessy for, this was, what book was this for? This was for A Sweet Pie That Is a Go-To. I wound up finishing this. I gave this book 5 stars. I thought that it was so fun. A perfect YA contemporary romance with self-discovery, but also like just a sweet romance, a second chance romance. Fall vibes in this were very, very present and accounted for. I like the second chance vibe. I also like the self-discovery. And even though we didn't get Luke's point of view in this story, I felt like he had a very solid like point of view. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. Definitely would check it out in the fall. And then for my other pie that I'm making for another go-to book that I went to just because everyone was chit-chatting about it was Yesteryear, and I'll attach a photo of that book here. A lot. I really would have DNF'd it if I did not want to know what the big twist was, if I didn't want to know like what was happening in this book, because I hated the characters. I despise them. But I will say this book is written very, very well. I kind of had similar vibes when I was reading In My Hands I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I love Ashley Winstead's writing style, but I don't like unlikable characters. So I kind of got to the point that I was like speeding the book up. And I kind of predicted a little bit like what was going to happen, but I didn't predict the whole of it. I'm going to give this book 4 stars. I really like her writing. It's very, very captivating, very interesting. But I hated the characters in this book, like all of them. I think I liked one character in the story. And I can see why it's getting a lot of talk about because I think it's going to be a very, very hyped book this year. So I'm happy that I read it. And then so we're going to chit chat about my workout plans. Yesterday I did 17,000 steps, which was incredible just because I had to walk home at the end of the evening as well. I really tried to do my best. I think I probably say went over my calorie count by a little bit, but I did walk a ton. And then today it's going to be like 95 degrees. So currently at this moment, it is about 10 o'clock. I went up doing 4,000 steps already. I went for a bike ride. I went and got my hair done. I walked for 40 minutes. I had to get a few things. I had to get something for my yogurt in the morning. So I did that. I think what I learned on Monday was I have to like spread out my working out so I don't have to work out like all in the evening, because that's what I did Monday and I didn't like that. So I really have to kind of find ways to like still work out or be active all day. I don't want to sit and do like nothing the whole day. So I also am going to utilize my walking pad today. I didn't do Future yesterday. I didn't do a bike ride obviously because I was in the city all day. But that is where we are. So now what we are is we are going to pick another pie. So I actually did pick up my next audiobook as I was running, and I picked up The Housewife, and I'll attach a photo of that book here. I'm going to say this pie is going to have a shortbread cover because it's like lighter covers, as you kind of sort of has like pink. It has a little bit of blood, but very, very like pastel-y. So I would say that that's like a light covered book for a shortbread cover. This is a wild book. Like I think I'll probably take a break from like physically like listening to thrillers when this book is done, but I am enjoying it. So basically you have this main character and she winds up marrying this guy. But little does the guy know, he married her sister and her sister was committed suicide. And she does not think that that is like what happened. She thinks that there is some subterfuge afoot, and she wants to kind of prove that her current husband killed her sister. She was in jail, and she has like a very like not deranged, but she has like a very like interesting way of telling you a story. She's very, very vicious. She has committed murder before, and she really is determined to figure out what happened to her sister. And we're at the end of the book where things are starting to come into place, and I am enjoying it, but it's not like a new favorite. I do like the narrator in this. I like the character a lot more. She can be viewed as unlikable, but I'm just having a fun time with it. So now I have to pick another book. So we are going to count Okay, so shortbread would be a housewife, because that would be like bright. Okay, so now I either have to read a bright colored book for a bright colored book, or I can read a dark colored book just to kind of give myself a little bit of break. So this is honestly would probably be like, I'm just going by like the back cover. So yeah, I really am so tempted to read this because it kind of does end the series in this. Bright colors. Well, I guess you could say that this is bright because it does have bright elements to it. So I guess I might, I don't know. I think I might try to read this right now and try to read about 100 pages of this. This is going to be the final book in the series. So I'm probably going to read like the first like 126 pages of the story and try to like figure out where we are with it. Because I would like to stay up to date on my books that I have been reading. And then we'll kind of see where we are. I haven't like picked anything yet. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try to read this. I'm also still watching, Little House on the Prairie. I didn't watch anything on BookTube yesterday, obviously, because I was out and I was a bit more out. So yeah, I think I'm going to start The Gilded Blade. I am in the middle of a reread technically of this story, so I may actually re-listen to this like later in the year. But that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start this. I did go to the event. I am very, very motivated to read it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to read for 100 pages of this. And then I'm going to kind of try to do something on my feet, which I think is a better habit to get into. Again, I'm learning about habits that as I try to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go read 100 pages of this. I might also like try to finish up my audiobook so I could kind of get another one under my belt. But I don't know what I want to read. What is the next? Okay, so I am going to pick a fantasy setting. That's probably where I'm gonna, well, it depends on like what the audiobook is because I might change it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go read a little bit of Gilded Blade and I'm gonna try to give you a stepping update after I read 100 pages of this, and we'll see where we are, but I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Friends, yesterday I did wind up meeting all of my goals. I did wind up doing about 12,000 steps. It is raining today, which makes me a little bit nervous. We're also supposed to have super bad air quality because of the fires in Canada, I think. So I don't know how that's all going to shake out. I'm definitely going to yoga today. And I'm probably going to walk a little bit. I really do hope to get my 10,000 steps, but I'm going to have to do that when it's not pouring. So I did wind up getting some book mail yesterday. I got The Verity Guild by Mai Corlin. If you don't want to see the spoiler for the Romantasy book, don't look, but this is Verity Guild. I do actually have another copy of this book that I bought just on my own because it was like a murder mystery with a romantasy subplot, so I really do want to read this. I also did finish the Housewife, which I will have attached a photo of that book here. Also, today is Thursday. It was a super fun listen. Like, I listened to it in like a day and a half, like most of the day yesterday, and I just kind of sped it up. I really did like the main character in the story. Basically, you have a main character, her sister was killed, or her sister died, and she winds up dating, like marrying her ex, like her sister's ex, to kind of figure out what happened to her, and things kind of went from there. It was definitely a wild book, but I like the character a little bit more. She definitely had some quirks, but I did enjoy her a little bit more than Yesteryear. So this book got 4 stars. They both got 4 stars, but on an enjoyment level, I really loved The Last Housewife. Like, I enjoyed it a lot, and Yesteryear just was shocking and surprising. So currently I'm in my high. So I have so for my sweet go-to pie, I read a book that had a light colored crust. And now I need to find a book for that prompt that I do not know what I'm going to do. But the book I want to read is one that is Paranormal Wedding Planner. So I think I'm going to read this is set in America anyway, or Pumpkin. I think I'm going to make this be a fall read for me because, you know, it is like a fall cozy. It does have fall vibes. I think I'm also going to restart this because whenever I listen to like fantasy stories, I always need a little bit of like a push. So that's what we're going to do for this. And that will be the third level on this. So let me just go get my pen so I can write this down. I'll be right back. Okay, so I can write this down. Okay. Okay, and then we also have, okay, so this is good. I want to start this. I'm very excited. I have to run some errands today and I'm going to bring this book with me, but I think I need to slow it down just a little bit and re-listen to the first half, but this was the one that I bought recently. And also I'm listening to it on Audible, and when you listen to books on Audible, they don't give you percentages. So that's why I like to have a physical book when I read my Audible books. Okay, and then also I did wind up reading about 100 pages in The Gilded Blade, and I'm really liking this. I cannot say too much about this book because it is like the 9th book in a series in the conclusion, but basically something pretty big happened at the end of the last book in the series. Basically this whole series was about Avery starting a game, and Avery's the main character in the inheritance game. She was kind of gifted, like she got gifted this inheritance and she didn't know why. And the whole first trilogy was her figuring out why she got named this inheritance. And then the second trilogy was her kind of starting a game to give away her millions. And this is kind of the fallout of that. Something happened and now she's not in control and everyone is involved trying to find. You have a bunch of new characters and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm about 112 pages in. And I really can't say too much, but I want to read another like 100 pages today, maybe even more. So yeah, that is where we are right now. My plan today is to do another 10,000 steps and follow all my other things. I'm also trying to actually follow when my move ring sets to get up and stuff, so that's been interesting. But yeah, my goal for today is to make some progress on this when I run to town to go to yoga, and then also physically read a little bit of this. I'm also watching Little House on the Prairie. But I will come back when I have a update for you. It should be in a bit. I actually read this book super quickly, but I'm not going to probably give you a ton of updates because I can't say too much, but just know that this is one of my favorite series and probably one of my only cozy like mystery books I actually read because I love her writing. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye, book friends. Bit Dragons, it is a Thursday. I did wind up making a bit of progress. Today I was doing a lot, like I was trying to organize, I was trying to get stuff done. I went to yoga in the morning. I wound up listening to 158 pages of Samantha Spook Paranormal Wedding Planner, and I'm loving this book. I'm so happy that I picked it up. It's just very, very fun. It's about this girl named Samantha, and she's kind of loosely on the periphery of being in this magical community. Her grandma lived here and was like, I don't know what her grandmother actually was, but she has like witch connection. She lives in Salem and she's kind of connected to all of these people, but her grandmother dies and she's kind of made executor of her estate, and she's planning on going back to New York and being like something with money, and she's trying to work there, and her goal is to be very, very normal. And then she's kind of stuck in her hometown, and as she's cleaning out her grandmother's house, she winds up finding this talking head that talks back to her, and she's afraid that people are going to assume she killed this person, so she's trying to get rid of it, and she winds up going to where her grandma is in the graveyard to like bury this head. And then she meets this man and they get to talking, and she's kind of very like quirky and funny, and she kind of accidentally tells him that she's like a florist and like a wedding planner, and she winds up accidentally having to do a wedding planning for these two vampires, and she's only supposed to be in town for like a week or like 2 weeks, and then she can't leave and she's kind of like stuck there. And it's just very, very funny. It's very, very quirky. She has like a small cast of character. She has a romantic love interest, and I'm just loving this. I really am having a fun time with this book. It's quirky, it's magical, it's supernatural, and I'm having a great time with it. And it's set around Halloween, and she's kind of now doing all this wedding planning for other people, and I'm really having quite a fun time with this. So I'm like 49% into this, and if I am able to go for a bike ride tomorrow, if it's not too smoky, I will probably finish this tomorrow. And then the other book that I'm reading is The Gilded Blade by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I'm 200 pages into this one, and I'm really, really liking this. This is a 9-book series, so like even though it's the end of like the it's the end of the Grandest Game series, it's also the end of like a 9-book series, like all of the books in this little series. And it's very interesting because I think you have 4 main characters, and they're all at different parts of the world trying to solve the end of something happened at the end of the Grand Glorious Rivals that revealed a pretty big thing, and they're kind of dealing with the consequences of that. They're also kind of building all these pieces back to kind of wrap up the series, and I'm loving it. I really don't want to put this book down. I can't say too much more than that, but I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm going to go read a little bit more. I also want to finish Little House on the Prairie. I have like 40 minutes left of that. And there was a couple of little like not true crime, but like a couple little documentaries I want to watch that I forgot that came out. So yeah, that is the plan. I'm going to go keep reading this. And if I get up to 300 page tonight, I will definitely update you. If not, I'll give you an update tomorrow morning. Bye, book friends. Hey, Dragons. Yesterday was not, it was a good day, but like, planning wise, it was not a good day. I didn't do that well on my walking. I wound up having to do basically 10,000 steps in the afternoon, which I don't like. And I think that's what I learned yesterday is that I don't like I like being allowed to like do movement throughout the whole day, which definitely is better for you instead of doing it all at once. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. I think I'm gonna try to do like a walk in the morning. I'm gonna try to go for a bike ride in the afternoon as long as the weather cooperates, which it hasn't been, and then do a late evening walk just to have 3. And I'm also gonna get up when my watch tells me to and do things like that. But it just wasn't. It was not a good eating day. I wouldn't say I cheated because we did go out to eat and I had fewer options, but it wasn't great. But the good news is I have like maybe like 50 pages left of Samantha's Spook Paranormal Learning Planner, and I'm liking this quite a bit. I think this is probably going to be a 5-star read for me. I'm just enjoying it. It's very, like, she's very, very witty. She's very, very bantery, and she basically gets stuck to basically be a fake wedding planner because her grandma is basically keeping her here on a curse, and then she is just stuck in this little town and she really doesn't want to be there. And hilarity and drama ensue. This is definitely like a found family dynamic, which I'm really liking, and I'm just enjoying it quite a bit. I'm probably going to try to finish this in my first walk, and then I think I'm going to pick up my Percy. So the next prompt for that is toppings. Crumble is second chance, Lattice is multiple point of views or timelines, and Meringue is a 5-star prediction. So I think I'm going to do Crumble, and I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish the Percy Jackson book, The Wrath of the Triple Goddess. I do have a physical book of this somewhere, but I don't know where it is, and I'm also rewatching that TV show. So I am going to listen to that probably at some point today. And I'm not going to the city tomorrow. I thought that I was, so that may affect this vlog like a little bit. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm gonna try to go for a walk early so I have that done. And then I got up to page 318 in The Gilded Blade. I cannot say too much, but everything is sort of coming together. You have 4 very different plot lines that are all coming together. We have some characters from the past that are re-emerging, and I'm really liking this quite a bit. I'm really curious to see how it all like winds up and turns out. There has been a lot of mysteries that have been kind of overwhelming, and there's been a big mystery in this story, which if it goes the way I think it's very, very smart, and I'm really, really liking it. So yeah, my goal is to get up to get to part 3 before we hit like afternoon, and then maybe finish this book today. It is a little bit longer, but I have just not been focusing on it as diligently as I should be. But this I will definitely finish, and I'm also going to go start that other book, so maybe when I come back I'll have a couple of updates for you. But this is probably going to be a 5-star. This is probably going to be a 5-star, and then I need to read Aside. So I'm probably going to finish this in this book, and then I might move on to like another vlog to do something a little bit different. Because that book won't take me that long, and this we're still at our colored. So we're very, very far behind in this, which is fine. All right, so I'm going to go get myself ready. I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk before it rains, and I will give you an update when I have finished this and when I have made more progress on this. And right now I have done no steps, but I did do my future workout, and I'm gonna go for 2 walks, and I'm going to do a little bit more balance today, which is important. Also, I think the thing that affected me yesterday was I had to do all my Instagram template stuff. Like I had to do all my filming, and then we immediately went to go see the Odyssey, which was really, really good. But I just missed a little bit of time. So I think I'm gonna have to plan that a little bit better when we go see Spider-Man in 2 weeks, because then I will feel like the same exact thing will happen. So that is what we're working for. I will be back when I have an update for you, hopefully rather soon. Bye, book friends. Book friends, I'm back. It is pouring. So right now I'm at about the 5,000 step mark, or about that. I think it's probably going to be a little bit less today, unless this rain stops. But I might just walk on the walking pad and call it done, even if it won't count on it. We will see. We will see what the weather does. But I did get some book mail that I'm going to go over first. So I did wind up ordering something from Pango. I always forget I have Pango books. So I decided to get The Bone Door by Frances White. People were talking about this and not liking it, but it made me convince myself to get it. And this is a very, very pretty edition. I got it from the library, and then I had to like return it. So I got this one. I also got my pre-order. My Fury Brown pre-order finally came in. By Sable Sorrison, which means I really do want to try to read this book before I go back to school. I have a little bit of a sequel vlog planned, probably for the end of summer, to be honest, if I'm predicting my content correctly. And then I also got in the book I was waiting for. The way Novel Ground does its pre-orders is you wait until your last book. So Into the Fading Twilight by Catherine Cowles came in. I already gave this book 5 stars. I had such a fun time with it. And it comes with a friendship bracelet, which I'm going to put on immediately. It also comes with a new art print that is actually safe for work, which means I could show it. And then it says, without the dark you couldn't see those stars. And then it has her autograph plate, which I definitely will be putting on my book because I have not met her yet. And then I have a couple of little stickers for my little lap desk. Okay, so those things came in the mail, and I have good news. I have already read Into the Fading Twilight, so this will be a read that I have already read. Fury Bound will be a part of that vlog, and then The Bone Door is a book that I'm just going to add to my TBR. And then good news, I have to put those in a pile. I did wind up finishing up Samantha's Spook Paranormal Wedding Planner by Lisa Lynn, and I gave this book 5 stars. I love this book. I thought it was so cute. I thought it was like a cozy, like a cozy fantasy with a paranormal element. Really perfect for like Halloween vibes. It had a lot of elements that worked. Her narrator style really, really worked for me. And it was just a fun book. I talked about a little bit more about a main character that was kind of stuck in her hometown, and she winds up accidentally starting this wedding planner business, and it kind of goes from there. I had a fun time. I gave it 5 stars. And then so for that little line, the next book I'm going to pick up, or have picked up, and I'm in the middle of reading, is a book that I gave a second chance to. And I have DNF'd this book 4 different times, but I think it was right book, wrong time, because I love this series. So I picked up Percy Jackson and the Wrath of the Triple Goddess. This is Percy Jackson's series. It's like going back in time a little bit. Like Percy is trying to get into college. So we kind of see him on these mini adventures, and he has to get a recommendation for college, and he is trying to get it, and he winds up having to pet sit with Annabeth and Grover. And I'm about 62 pages into this, so I haven't read a ton of this yet. And also, I am reading The Gilded Blade. I got to part 3, and we are finally about to get some answers. Finally. So I really want to dive back in and read this. It's pouring, so I may not go for a bike ride later. We will see, but I am going to read this little section and then give you guys updates. I really don't want to talk too much about this book because it is like giving a ton of answers, but I am finding this to be such a good read. Like, I do not want to put this book down. The chapters are short. I'm very engaged. Really happy that I reread Inheritance Game, but I'm just going to make my way through a reread of the series. And then also the new Natural book is coming out, which I do want to make my way through as well. So yeah, I'm going to go read this little section and then see what the weather does. And try to be up and moving is the whole goal. Even if I can't go for a ride, I will definitely use the walking pad later if it stays like crappy like this, but yeah, that is where we are. So I'm gonna go read the last little section of this and then see how long the vlog is. The original plan was to do like another like weekend reading vlog and just have like finish up this thing for like where I was in this. Like, I wanted to choose books for this, and then the next one was going to be spinner wheel based. We will see. But let me go get my little thing, because I have been tracking everything on my Aura app, which is great. So yeah, I've done 6,496 steps, which is great. And I have worked out this morning. I did go for a 15-minute bike ride, but according to this, like, my goal is 8,000 steps and I'm only at 6,000, so we will see if that is possible. But yeah, I will be back when I have another update for you, hopefully soon. Hopefully when I get to the last little bit of this, I will have an update for you. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye, friends. Dragons, I'm back. I did want to say that I did wind up reading up to page 118 in this one, so I'm on chapter 14. I'm just liking this book. I like Percy Jackson quite a bit. I'm also ironically watching the TV show now, so I think that this is the great time to read it because I'm kind of seeing another adventure, but this is very, very late in the game. This is pre the Apollo series, so it's like it's right after Heroes of Olympus, which is my favorite series. I really want to do a reread of that as well. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I love the audiobook narrators in this one. This is also set on Halloween. I wish I would have known that because I could have read that for Amazing Readathon for the holiday prompt because it's set on Halloween weekend. But there's a lot happening in the story and I'm really liking it. It's a mini adventure. They're basically pet sitting and the pets have gone missing and they're kind of trying to figure out what happened to the pets. So I'm pretty decently into this. It is pouring. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sneak in a bike ride, but I might try to do another walking workout just to get my steps pretty much even. But I did this. I also got through part 3 of The Gilded Blade and I am on page 461 and we are at the end. This is like the end of a lot, so there is a lot. We got a lot of answers. We know what The Gilded Blade is now. We know how it's connected to the whole series. And I always say, like, I think this is the series that made me think, like, oh, death is not death until you see a body. I always say that because death is not death until I see a body. So that really was proven in this series quite a bit. But I love the characters. I think these characters have... Sometimes when you read, like, a fantasy book, it's like... Or a romantasy, it's like, oh my god, these characters are fated. These characters are meant to be. These characters are meant to be. In a very, very different way. And it's a lot more realistic. But, like, I'm just loving it. So I'm gonna go... maybe get some steps done in a non-wet way. And then I'm gonna come back when I'm done with this. And I'm gonna see what I want to do. But I do think I'm going to probably choose another book for this vlog. And then the last section we'll do another vlog, I think, because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to like do, I think the vlog will be a little bit too long. So yeah, I'm going to finish this book. We're going to see how long it takes me, see how long the vlog is, and then we're going to kind of decide. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye, friends. Dragons, I'm back. Last night I did wind up finishing up The Gilded Blade by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. I thought that it was such a great ending to this series. And I said this kind of before. You normally read like epic love in like a romantasy book or like a fantasy book because the stakes are so high. This book had that. I think that this book had epic stakes. It had characters dealing with a lot. It also justified or like gave the characters in this little mini series, like this 3-book mini series, a solid ending but also then like ended the whole series, and I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of twists and turns I did not see coming. And I think it was important that this book didn't have Avery at the heart of it. Avery was the point of it because something happened to Avery. But I think that it was really refreshing to see the other characters get their due. And I think it was just very, very interesting. You really see the beauty of found family and found friendship in this story. And it was a great read. I really had a fun time with it. And I gave it 5 stars. So I'm gonna go see how long this vlog is before I decide what I'm going to go do. I also am about 252 pages into Percy Jackson, Wrath of the Temple Goddess, and I'm really liking this one as well. Like, it's probably gonna be a 4-star read for me. But I love Rick Riordan's writing. I love his audiobooks. I don't know why. I was looking to see if I was gonna start the reread, but for some reason Son of Neptune does not have an audiobook, which I think is so bizarre because it's been out for so long. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But I get Lost Hero. So yeah, I'm gonna probably finish this today as well. And this is already done, but I'm gonna go see like how long this video is. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna chit chat with you. Because the plan was to do like a complete, do a complete week in one bit vlog. But because like this is gonna go past this concept to just keep doing Kethcupathon just without that concept. So yeah, I'm gonna go edit this vlog, see how much footage I have, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you for sure we're gonna finish this book in this video. We're gonna finish Percy Jackson and the Olympiads when I go on my errands. But I'm probably gonna, if I had to predict, I'm probably gonna say we're gonna start a new vlog, and I wanna know what that book is. All right, I'll be back when I have an update for you all. Bye. For some reason, I never did a clip ending this vlog, so you're gonna see my next vlog, but I did really have a fun time with this. Let me know if you guys like this concept, if you like the reading versus the other health and wellness things. I'm probably going to keep doing it, but I'm just interested in if you like a little bit more personal look at me and my life. So let me know in the comments. I'm going to go start my next vlog, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, book friends.